All right, let's do it live. It is a football. My goodness, it is a Friday Night Lights Football Friday. Final preseason game edition.
There were already high school games last night.
Yeah,
Shout
I saw
out
that.
the Avon Eagles opening defense of the state title.
Big
Big win over Ignatius.
Bombed Iggy last night. Shador
Yeah.
was there, which I loved.
There were a couple players. I think Greg Newsom and
Yep.
Sampson were there as well.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
It is, but if you would allow me to wax poetic for a moment.
Please.
Absolutely. We're 30 seconds in. You got
Get 2
plenty
hours.
of time.
How much do you want, Bishop?
I'll sit back.
You want to go for 2 hours on high school football? You can.
Perfect.
I think I will go to the game in Hudson tonight.
I was trying to read what was on the shirt. And then I realized
Yeah,
that's
the
what
Mighty
it is.
Explorers. I'll go to the game. My kids are all jacked up. They're all in the gear to go to the game tonight. And that story is going to be repeated by the thousands throughout the state of Ohio tonight. And I really believe that a high school football Friday night is the last communal thing that we have in America. I really believe it. That it's the last thing where the whole town, in most communities, the whole town shows up on a Friday night. And it's still there. And whether you have kids in it or not, whether they've moved on or not, if you're in a community and you have a high school football team, whether your kids are old enough or maybe you don't even have kids, just go and hear the band and see the lights and see kind of what community is. Because we don't have much of these things anymore. We don't.
No.
You have some communities have parades and there's things here or there, but in terms of true community, it might be the last one, and it's awesome. And I think there's a reason that Friday Night Lights as an IP produced a perfect book, a near perfect movie, and a near perfect television show, because the Friday Night Lights experience, Buzz Bissinger chose Odessa Permian High School. The other two that were finalists were Valdosta, Georgia, and Massillon. Those are the three that he was choosing between. He chose Permian, and it was obviously you couldn't pick Bever based on what actually happened there. But the story of Friday Night Lights is repeatable over 500 high schools in the country.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights happens everywhere, and it's transferable.
I think it's obviously so. Growing up in California, that was not the case. It wasn't quite like that.
I bet it was at Concord de La Salle.
Well, yeah,
in Mater
I was gonna
Dei,
say certain teams
and Long Beach Poly and those type of places. I bet it was there
for sure.
Yeah.
But those you're talking about like top schools in the country.
But also, you grew up in you grew up in San Francisco, like
the
Bay Area. So, but I bet if you would have went over the hill, like if you would have went an hour north or an hour,
maybe an hour
I guarantee
out
if you would have
of
went an hour east.
But for me, Ohio, like going to Atlanta, you got that vibe. Big in Georgia. Here, it's different for sure. I think there's certainly probably, obviously Texas.
Yeah.
There are regions where that is incredibly true, where Friday Night Lights is, that's what, especially when you get some of those small, that is the town.
That's the key to it. I think it's the community.
Yeah.
I think sometimes in some big cities, it is just one giant community. But if you have the individual communities,
Right, well, that's
the
it.
individual suburbs, the individual our little towns amidst the city, that's where you get it.
Yeah.
And I think it's largely undefeated on that side of things.
So your boys get pumped, so they go.
Oh, they're walking downtown after school. They got all the gear. You know, if you play football, like NBC's wears his jersey to school, and then they go to the games, and then the stands will be completely packed tonight. They always do youth football night first game, and so all the little kids run out onto the field in their jerseys, and it's like
That's cool.
that's it. Yeah.
Is Hudson going to be good this year?
I don't know. They have a pretty good program, but I think it's a big test for them. There's a ton of good teams up here again this year. There's some massive games, like Glenville's at Massillon tonight, which is that's state champion Glenville, and Massillon's a state champion from 2 years ago. Those are massively huge programs. There's a bunch of great games tonight, and it's just awesome. And it really, if your team's good or bad, sometimes it wanes. But certainly week one, I don't know if Chagrin Falls is at home tonight, but if they were, if you and Miss K and Luca went, and you just went, it would be infectious. Because that stadium's awesome. It's so cool, so historic. Yeah. And you would, if you went there, you'd be like, God, this is great. This is awesome. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so good luck to all the kids.
Hawken is not at home.
Not
this week. I think they're at home the Friday of our season. They're home next week.
Next week. Yeah. You want that first Friday night opener because it starts to get. I mean, it gets lost in the jet path, right? Because you got college football next week, and then NFL. And so at that, then it starts to kind of get lost. One thing I think has been really cool, and I'll give Ohio State a lot of credit for this. Ohio State football says we will not play Fridays.
Yeah.
Like their television partners keep leaning on them to play Friday nights, and Ohio. It's the one thing that they've held on to of we're not playing Friday nights. Like they stay out of the way of high schools. Texas does that. The big schools, they usually
in the states
stay
that
out.
where it's,
where it really matters, they stay out of it. Gibby, are you slinging hot dogs tonight?
I am not tonight, but at some point this year, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've got going on tonight.
Nobody. I mean, how many years did you host the Saturday show with the high school football?
Probably 10 or 11, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did it when I came over here and started working full time.
Right.
I was still doing the Saturday morning. I love doing it. I had to give it up just because I was going to be working 7 days a week, if not. So, but everything about it, and the coaches are receptive.
They're awesome.
Like it gets to the point where the coaches call you, maybe from the local watering hole, celebrating at midnight.
Awesome. It's great.
Hey, do you need me in the morning?
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's make it the second hour, though.
Yeah,
I mean that. Everybody's great. I love high school football. I love everything about it. I wish it started maybe a week later, but you're treading into college football.
Yeah, I think. College football. So this is week 0 in college football. There's just one game this weekend, and then all of the NFL preseason, obviously, including our game, which we're going to preview at length. But college football, this is going to be week 1 relatively soon, and I think high school football will have to adjust and move up. They're going to have to start even a week earlier is what it's going to have to be because you've got to – I think it's really critical that you have that they go first.
Yeah.
I think it's important that you keep
that. There's nothing better. No. Shout out, wishing the Olmsted Falls Bulldogs a great season, wishing my alma mater, Lakewood Rangers. Come on. Let's go. It's been a few lean years, kids. Let's go. Let's bring it back a little bit.
There's something cool about leaving your game, and every market I've been in they have these shows. I don't know we have them here, but like leaving your game and putting on the radio to see who else won, and then racing home to watch the highlights later. But I mean, it was you'd get in the car. All right, oh my God, they beat them, and then go see the highlights. Oh my God, did you see this touchdown from so and so? All of that stuff. It's just, I mean, where I grew up, it was all that mattered. It's funny. I was having a conversation with Beamsy on the way to school today, and he goes, Dad, what was Friday Night Lights for you? And I said, it was Saturday. And he goes, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, we were rural. We didn't have lighted football fields.
Yeah.
Like we played Saturdays at 1 because nobody had lights. In the small schools, they didn't have lights. So the big schools in Montana did, but I played in the smallest classifications, so we didn't have lights.
Lakewood was, if they weren't the first high school in the state of Ohio, they were one of like the first 5. Like we played on AstroTurf.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Like we were, at the time, we were probably the second biggest high school in Ohio.
How many kids?
I graduated with close to 800.
Wow.
I mean, there were over 3,000 kids.
Yeah, so the one in the Bay Area that was the biggest was called James Logan, and it was 4,000 kids.
4,000 kids.
And they had turf. They had like a basketball arena. Roy Williams, who played for the Cowboys, played there. They always had really good athletes. But that's where, like, when there was big basketball games that were on the way to the state championship, but it was always at Logan's gym.
Yeah.
That's where I saw like Jason Kidd when he was a freshman.
Was there. Yeah.
Calvin Bird.
There's a thrill in that too. You did it on the basketball side, but there's a thrill in that too of seeing a kid who's in high school and just seeing how they're built different. And they jump out because you can spot them. And over 20 years, I've spotted
Jason Kidd in 8th grade.
You spot them early. I saw Ernie Sims in 8th grade. Ended up being a first-round pick. I could told you at 13 he was going to be a first-round pick. He just had athleticism you just never seen. And there's 1,000 stories of guys up here like that. But what is and then to see them go all the way and become pros. I mean, you think how many we're blessed in this area, folks who have been here their whole lives who've seen. You still hear anytime I have this conversation up here, it always ends up on Robert Smith. Like so many people say,
we played against him.
It's always who's the best high school football player you saw in Northeast Ohio? It's Robert Smith. I get that all the time when I have ask that question around here. It's always Robert
Smith, but then Pepe Pearson followed him.
Yeah,
like it was like running back you.
Yeah, so many.
Mine's way more
I will tell you this:
Way more basketball.
I wonder if that is a
Jason Kidd, Lamont Murray,
it's got to
Eddie
be a
House.
product of, yeah. I mean, it's crazy because for the majority of the time, like when I was young, De La Salle was the best high school football program in the country. I mean, they didn't lose for
so like Amani
Leducker,
Toomer,
I think was his name. He didn't lose for like 7 years.
Yeah, they had well-dressed Amani Toomer, MJD.
Yeah, one after another.
Yeah.
So they must have played. That's that private school thing, though. They must have played other private schools.
They
south,
did. They basically
right?
and they played like national games.
National
They didn't-
schedule.
Yeah, they didn't play like.
So there wasn't a league in the Bay Area that it was like this is all these teams play football at a high level. Yeah. So
The
that's more
NBAL,
the
which
Southern,
is what we were in, where Logan was in there, Kennedy, Washington, Hayward High. Like, it was a good basketball league.
Yeah.
It was a really good basketball league. Like, I mean, people would go, D1. We would send kids to D1 from our
But it wasn't
school,
like
but it
the
wasn't.
whole town went to watch the high
No.
school football game.
No. Now Moreau's really good now. Like, they were in the state championship this year, I think.
Yeah.
But no, it was much more basketball.
So like on a Friday night, like when you were in high school, like the whole
You'd go to the game,
and it was be full stands and all that, or no?
yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. There was a guy before when I was young who played at Moreau that was named Braxton Banks, who went to like Notre Dame and was considered a top recruit. Like, at Notre Dame, peak of their power, but he never
Never worked out.
just never manifested. But like, yeah, Jason Kidd, Lamont Murray in high school, you're like, yeah, okay, these guys
You can
are
spot 'em.
on a different level. Because
Yeah.
I remember Jason Kidd's freshman year at St. Joe's, which was St. Joe's of Alameda, had like maybe 500 kids in it total.
Yeah.
It was a very small school. The Calvin Bird played for them. I don't remember that
Yeah.
name, but he went to Villanova. He was the number one player in the country, and Jason Kidd was the freshman.
Yeah.
And they were going on their state championship run or their run to the States, and there was a big game at Logan, and like everybody was there.
Yeah, like 10,000 or whatever.
Loot.
Yeah. All the coaches. Yeah.
Every coach that I'd ever seen on TV,
They were all there.
they were all there. And, Calvin Bird probably had like 40 or something, and everybody was like Calvin Bird. And then, but all anybody would talk, Jason Kidd as a freshman, true freshman, had a triple-double, like with 30, 15, and 15. And you're just like, who the heck is this guy?
Different.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I mean, we are very lucky up here. Like Ohio high school football. And, I mean, you look at, there's 49 other states, and you're like, how's Ohio? It's a factory.
It's a factory. And that's
From a
like I
high
was saying,
school football
my
standpoint,
youth was much more – it wasn't as much – it was much more basketball. Now, I played basketball, so it probably had something to do with it as well. But it was just much basketball where – like I can list a bunch of guys that played in the NBA that I played basketball either with or against in various things, but not with the NFL. Roy Williams was the one.
Yeah. You can. I mean, I think here. I mean, look, we birthed
This
the
is the
sport
birth,
from
that's
our
what I'm saying.
loins.
It's
Like,
the
I mean, it's
Football Hall of Fame's here.
Yeah, and Pennsylvania's like that. Ohio's like that. All the southern states are like that. Florida, Georgia are crazy. Alabama's nuts. Louisiana's nuts. Like it's. I think what it is too in a lot of those rural states is it's that sense of community. Yeah. It's like this is what we do. There are issues. Like one of the things that folks up here have to deal with, and people in Cincinnati have to deal with. Like we have a big. Obviously, it's a private school recruiting that you're dealing with up here that you deal with in Cincinnati.
Sure.
They don't deal with that in Columbus. They don't. Like if you're a kid and you're in the Olentangy school districts, like you're going to go to Liberty or Orange and you're going to go try to win a state championship. Kids from Upper Arlington don't transfer out of Arlington to go to a private school. Up here, Ignatius, Eds, Hoban, like all of them are factors in that. And Cincinnati has the GCL, Greater Catholic League, Moeller, St. X, all those teams.
Yeah.
So Columbus, they don't have to deal with that.
I find this interesting. So this is 2024. This was kickoff weekend of 2024, last year's season.
Okay.
Texas had 190 players in the NFL. Florida 176, California 168, Georgia 146, North Carolina 74, Ohio 65. That's interesting, but when you look at the cities with the most, Miami, Florida had 16, Las Vegas 17, Miami, Florida, Las Vegas 16, Bradenton, Florida 15, Atlanta, Georgia 14, Detroit 14, Houston 13, St. Louis 13, Tampa 13, Plantation, Florida 12, Birmingham, Alabama 10, Charlotte, North Carolina 10, Cincinnati, Ohio 10, Indianapolis 10, Philadelphia 10. So there's not a single, while California is third, there isn't a single city like that's
No, I think they're so
Makes it
spread out.
So spread out, so big.
Yeah,
But that's
and
what
it's all the. I mean, like L.A. is so vast. Like,
Yeah.
are they given because Mater Dei is technically L.A. area.
sure.
You know, and
Mater Dei has
Long Beach
5.
Poly would. Yeah,
So Mater Dei had 5 players: Quentin Lake, Curtis Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Ryan Stonehouse, and Bryce Young. The most was the IMG Academy in Bradenton.
yeah. That doesn't count though because that's a
Might as well
prep
be
school.
a college.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
2 of our,
college.
we got Greg Newsom and Grant Delpit. Yelda Froholt was also there. American Heritage in Plantation, Florida.
That's squad.
Brian Burns, Tyson Campbell, Khalil Herbert, James Houston, Mike Morris, Nesta Jade Silvera, Tadaryl Slayton, Pat Sertan, James William, Marco Wilson, and then Bishop Gorman.
That's Vegas. Yeah.
Yep. Jaden Hicks, Brevin Jordan, Jalen Naylor, Roma Dunze, Ronnie Stanley, Cedric Tillman, DTR, a guy named Nick Gates.
Yeah, like how many of those kids are actually from Las Vegas? Probably next to none.
DeMatha in Maryland had
Yeah.
8. St. Thomas Aquinas,
Squad.
Jordan Battle, Nick Benito, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Elijah Moore, Josh Palmer, Tyler Steen, Dallas Turner. Man,
Dudes.
dudes. Yeah, that's of the list so far. That's a pretty solid list there. This isn't pretty bad either. St. Joe's Prep in Philly, that's coach's school, right?
Yep.
Marvin Harrison Jr., John Runyon, DeAndre Swift, Jeremiah Trotter, and Olamide Zacchaeus.
It's a nice little group if you want to trot out maybe a
Olamide.
7 squad.
Sorry, Olamide Zacchaeus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool though, man. It's really cool. So, good luck to all the coaches and players and yeah, that's kind of my piece of advice. If you're looking for something to do tonight, no one will be on their phones. They won't. They'll just watch the game.
watch the
They'll
game.
talk.
It's
They'll be able
beautiful.
to have interpersonal relations. It's amazing. You
Communication.
should actually talk to people and see people face to face.
that?
All right, one last factoid for you. Right here at Cleveland, Ohio, SI had 4 players on NFL kickoff weekend rosters in 2024. Ignatius did. That's the only one in Ohio that had at least 4 players.
And they had 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
States with most NFL players per capita: Georgia, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, D.C., Florida, Maryland, Hawaii, Utah, North Carolina. So California's not even near that.
you just did though, that proves like when people talk about the SEC, look what you just
Georgia,
did.
Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida.
And maybe it's why the California main colleges haven't been
That's
so good.
Urban always said that about because everybody linked him to the USC job, and he said the problem there is there aren't enough fat people. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. Like we don't have my lines of scrimmage. I need big boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there aren't enough of them, so they usually have to go try to find Samoan and all of that.
Yep.
But like, there's those guys aplenty in the South. There's those big boys aplenty in the South. But that's how that happens. I mean, that's where
Totally.
that talent comes from. One of the biggest changes in the last 25 years, I did a big story on this probably 20 years ago when I first got to Columbus was, and I was on TV, was in this footprint, Ohio has held up its end of the bargain in terms of producing high school football talent. It's held up its end of the bargain. Pennsylvania has not. Pennsylvania has fallen off a cliff from what it was
Yeah.
in the 70s and the 60s with the steel mills.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all anymore. Western PA used to put out dudes regularly, lots of them, and they don't anymore, not like they used to. So that's part of there's that incredible population shift south. That's what's happened.
Yep.
Is that that talent is now mostly in the South is kind of where all of it operates. We have reached it. It's our preseason finale, kids. We play tomorrow at 1, Huntington Bank Field against the Rams. It's a gorgeous day for it. 77, no rain. It is perfect. I mean, from a preseason game, last preseason game perspective, this is as good a one for you to attend as I can remember since I've been doing this. You're going to get Flacco, you're going to get Dillon, and you're going to get Shador.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty
from a
good.
Brown standpoint, you're going to get to see, a lot of the people that you want to see, get a good look, I think, at some of these guys. And then, you're going to get Dillon and Shador, which are the young quarterbacks that you want to see. I don't think you're going to see anything from the Rams that you care to see. But so what? We're not here to see the Rams. We're here to see the
nobody
Cleveland
cares
Browns.
about
So
them.
you're
Right,
going to
let's see the rookies.
Yeah, you're going to see the rookie quarterbacks both get to play. You're going to get to see Isaiah Bond. You're going to get to see Dylan Sampson. You're going to see the young guys, that you want to see with this team. Yeah, I think there is a lot to watch. I think that you really want our starters, I think it's fair to say, to go out and look good.
And get out.
And get out. Well, especially if we're playing their fourth string. Like if they're
Yeah, this is kinda
dressing
crazy.
12 people.
Do you think Kevin sticks to that 20 to 25 plays even with them playing their fours?
I think that it's going to be much more about the quality than anything. I think it's going to be
Like if you get it.
if we go right down the field and everybody looks good, zing, 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 I think that could be it.
That's always a tricky one. Like if you chase that one great drive, like you've seen coaches do that. Like I just want one good drive. I think we did that once with Bake, and all of a sudden it was like into the third quarter, and he's still out there, and I'm like, Freddie, what?
Yeah, let's go.
Get him out. Let's get him out.
I think, I think you'll be looking for, just go out there and handle the business quickly and do well. And I think certain people will be, some people we won't see. I don't think you're going to see everybody. Like,
I don't need to see Miles or Denzel
or Batonio.
No.
I think I'd be stunned if you saw any of those guys. But beyond that, I think, you can see some people. And
I don't need to see Jerry do much.
No, I don't need to see Chief do much. I don't need to see Fannin do much. I don't need to see Carson Schlesinger do much. I don't need to see Mason Graham do much. I don't need to see Grant do much.
It's funny. Everybody's attitude towards preseason is like they all want to see the stars until they're your stars.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, I don't want to see any of them. I don't want to see any of these guys play. Like, get to the Bengals in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's what get there healthy. Like, that's what you're worried about. You're not worried about, whatever happens in this one. Now, there are some position stuff that we're going to get in with you in just a second in terms of, some battling for positions. Probably should do like a 53 kind of as we see it. We can do that coming up as well. So there's 4 preseason games tonight: Eagles and Jets, Vikings and Titans, Falcons and Cowboys, Bears and Chiefs. Those are your 4 preseason games tonight. It's been kind of a theme all training camp and throughout summer here that the reality is that nobody knows what to do with preseason, and you're going to have varying things. I mean, the Bengals' plan all preseason was Burrow was going to play. It was going to be a ramp-up, play a series in the first one, a couple of series in the second. And he was going to get a long look in the third preseason. Like, Burrow wanted to play a lot, and then yesterday Zach Taylor said, actually, no, we're not.
Yeah, we watched you run around and spin around. No.
We're good. And that's kind of what I think's happening. And then Sean is the extreme, like what the Rams are doing. What do you even have on your board?
Matt Stafford's not even coming.
He's not. Why would he? His back hurts. He doesn't need that flight.
He's not even getting on the plane. They're not even going to be here for 24 hours.
Well, what is on your board?
What do you mean?
How are you?
For the
what
Rams?
do you have for them?
Nothing.
Not that you need anything. It's a you're not going to talk about them anyway. You're talking about our guys. But like, I'm just curious. Like, do we have?
I have their names.
Yeah. Like, how deep will they play? Anybody in the 2 deep?
I don't think so. They're playing Dresser Wynn is playing quarterback.
He's starting.
Dresser Wynn.
And he's playing 4 quarters of football.
I think yes. We will
so
not see
not only
Stafford, Garoppolo, or Bennett. So I'm saying we're seeing like the 4th.
So Stetson Bennett, McVay turned last week into the Stetson Bennett audition, so he got to throw it 50 times.
Yeah.
And then this week they signed somebody to play quarterback against us.
I think we'll see the Duke running back Jordan Waters. I think we'll see the undrafted free agent tight end out of Tennessee, McCallan Castles. We could see a little Brennan Presley.
Wow.
A Kanote Mumpfield. Yeah, I don't think a Willie Lampkin the 4th, a Ben Dooley, a Trey Weedig. Yeah,
if you're Kevin, what would you script that first series to be? What do you want to see our offense run the first series? Because you should be able to just run it right at them. But like,
yes, I want to see.
What do you want to see?
I either want to see total vanilla. Let's line up and we'll just be better than them because we're professionals and a lot of these guys are not going to be in the NFL. So I'd like to just see that. Or I want to see some things that we're putting in there just solely to make Cincinnati think about them.
Just some nonsense to make them think.
Yeah, not even nonsense, or just to get them to say, oh, see this, see this, see this, and then we're going to make it look like this, but we're going to do that.
Yeah, Kevin's great at that.
So, yeah, I mean, this one is going to be, and I know Philly played Philly gained 88 yards against us.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I would imagine, even worse than that. And I just want to see everybody who we're counting on get in and get out. I'm excited to see Isaiah Bond, though. I'm hoping he can make some big plays.
Kevin said yesterday that he's going to play. There's no reason he's not to. So came along very quickly mentally. So he's going to give it a go. So that's cool.
And he came along in very good shape. He came here in very good shape, which is important and good. Because, like I said, I really think that he's got an opportunity to be just, call it 10 to 20 plays, but be in the script for week 1 and just getting him, running vertically or running horizontally with his speed and, give him a jet sweep here or there, give him, a bubble screen and then send him deep. I think it'll be great.
Yeah, he's incredibly dangerous with the ball in his hands, very shifty, let alone the straight ahead speed. So big time weapon there. And then for us, like, while for the starters and all of that, and for the obviously you're going to go against the Rams 3s and 4s and guys who have no chance of making the roster. But if you are Dylan and you are Shedeur, it is a game. It is in your home stadium for the first time. Both have looked impressive in the 2 chances they've gotten, and you don't know when you're going to get another chance. So you're going to have an ability to go play some football, man. And those are huge reps for those guys to make good throws and have fun and do all the things they've been spending the last 5 weeks working on.
Yes. And this
That's
is
fun for you listening and watching, too.
No, it's going to be fun. And it's going to be fun to see guys that we can only keep 53 out of our 90. And it's a good position to be in. We have more than 53 guys here. So this is your audition. This is your audition for the NFL. This is your audition for 31 other teams as well as your own team. And there are people that we've gotten to know now. With like, Gibby, are we going to play Aiden Huntington so that the people can hear him?
No, you can check it out on our podcast center.
There you go.
Please do. I mean, guys, unbelievable. Like, how could you not root for this kid? Gage Larvidan was great in here yesterday. You know, so those are the kind of the fun stories. And the Browns have had good success. You got a couple good seasons out of DeAnthony Bell. You've got good seasons out of Mahmoud Diabate. We've done Ronnie Hickman. We've done a good job of finding some undrafted guys that can help this football team. And so hopefully, those are some of the fun stories to see that continue. And yeah, I'm excited. And Dylan and Shedeur in the same game. We haven't seen that yet. That'll be fun. I'm sure everybody will handle what they see rationally. So, let's go.
I'm sure they will. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospital, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Position battles, players on the cut line, a look at the 53 as we think it is on this fine Friday. Coming up next, you're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. It's presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Game day cooler with the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea, hard iced tea, smooth, real brewed tea, 5% kick of alcohol. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. All right, let's take a look at where we are as we see it in terms of position battles. It's not really position battles, it's more roster battles. And I don't think you can say necessarily it's this receiver. You tell me if I'm wrong about this. I don't get the sense that it's this receiver or this DN versus this DN. More so in most instances, this wide receiver or this D tackle, this wide receiver or that. Does that make sense?
So
some sense of that? You're on.
So yes, I would say I think that if it's in the big picture, it's are we going to keep 6 receivers or not? So if we're not going to keep 6 receivers, does that mean that's the 3rd tight end? Is it a 4th running back? Is it a 9th or 10th offensive lineman? Is that a defensive position? But if we do keep 6 receivers, I really think it's a battle between Gage Larvin and Deontay Johnson if we were to keep 6.
If we keep 6. Can we keep 6 if we keep 4 quarterbacks?
Probably not.
Let me ask you this.
That would be tough. Now, because of all the injuries to our linebacking room, though, we might only have 5 there. So that was always one that was kind of penciled in as 6.
Yeah.
Because you'd be like 10, 10, 6. So maybe you could, because that would all free up one spot. You could go 25, 25, and then the 3 specialists. You could.
Is there, because it really starts with the 4 versus 3 quarterbacks, because that opens up a lot.
So that starts, yes.
So let's have the Kenny Pickett conversation right now. He is not playing in this game.
No.
He hasn't done team in now 5 weeks.
No.
So obviously the hamstring injury was significant. So what options do you have with him in terms of if you want to keep him in this operation and you want to have those, because you're not going to expose the 2 rookies. So if you want to keep him in the organization, is there an injury thing that you can do? Because we used to have that thing with you put him on the thing.
Well, now you have 2 guys that you can put on IR that can come back. So,
Okay.
I mean, you could put 2 players on IR that would be eligible to come back within a few weeks, but then they're on IR.
Then they're on IR. Yeah. So
I don't know if it's 6. I think it's maybe 6 weeks.
But he's the one that it kind of starts with is what do you do with Kenny Pickett?
To me,
after
here's
all
the
this
thing,
time?
and maybe I'm looking at this incorrectly. Like, if we get through 6 weeks, and that is a tough piece of the schedule, and things are going well, Joe Flacco's your starter. If we get through that piece of the schedule, and let's say things have not gone well at all, like, why wouldn't you want to see Dylan or Shador?
I would, you would, but I don't. So I agree. But then are they willing
Kenny's not
to,
under contract to us next year.
I understand that. Are they willing to cut Kenny because that's the only other option, or look for a trade for him?
I think you are always open to, acquiring assets or being able to improve your roster if an opportunity presents itself. I just think, for Kenny Pickett, it's one of those situations, and you see this sometimes in the league, where it's like a guy's in a starting competition, and then if they don't win that starting competition, they don't just go right to number 2. You don't know. And I think, like, if you were to keep Kenny Pickett and keep all 4, my guess is that Kenny Pickett would probably be your backup through kind of that first opening stanza. Mm-hmm. But maybe you're comfortable enough with Dylan Gabriel.
I mean, I would be based on what I saw in Philly, but I'm not Kevin. I'm not AB, so I don't know.
And this is the thing.
But that's the first conversation I think that has to be had and is being had by them. We're just doing it here for fun. But it starts at quarterback. Are we going to carry 4 of these guys? Or we're going to carry – because the plan, they were going to carry 4 before all this Pickett injury stuff happened.
Yes.
It was going to be Kenny starting, Joe break glass, provided Kenny had a good camp, and then you kept the 2 rookies, and you roll with 4. But I don't know if that's the case anymore with the fact that Kenny hasn't done team in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
As far as we know. I don't know if he's done team this week, but he hasn't done team all the previous weeks when we had availability.
And he hasn't done team since day 4 of training camp, which was a long time ago. Yeah, it's tough for him because I really have enjoyed getting to talk with him. This was a guy who felt like he could be a starter in this league. 15-10 as a starter, as we've talked about, many times. And he just never – he did it. His offseason was such – I don't think – people forget. Like, there are a lot of people who are revisionist history and be like, oh, it's Flacco all along.
No.
Like, go back to OTAs and minicamp. Kenny Pickett was getting the vast majority of the work with the ones.
Even at the beginning of the camp.
Joe Flacco was getting very few reps at that time.
Beginning of training camp, Joe wasn't getting any of the team stuff.
Right.
It was all, remember? Joe didn't get any reps. It was all Kenny. Yeah, I mean, it's all there for you, kids.
It was there.
It's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there. You can't rewrite it.
And the injury happens and Joe takes advantage of that. And Joe Flacco is Joe Flacco. That's the other thing. He is Joe Flacco. The guy started 191 regular season games in his career, 105 and 86 as a starter. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's won it. But that's where you start. And my guess is it's going to be a lot easier for them to put this roster together with 3 quarterbacks.
Yes, 100%.
Running back, I think right now you're at 3. Would be Ford, Sampson, and Amani Marshall.
Ford, Sampson, Marshall, yeah.
I mean, I really think that with this Judkins situation, you need a power back. He's the only guy that fits that bill on your roster. Now, that's why when people say maybe they're looking for somebody else, I don't know if there's a free agent out there that they want to look at, but to me, if it was a free agent, he'd already be here. So maybe they're waiting on somebody to be cut somewhere else that they'll be able to drop in that's going to come from a similar system.
Similar tree, yeah.
That you could just pop right in there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. It's
the Judkins thing. I mean, it's just stinks, and it's really thrown a monkey wrench in all of this.
It stinks, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good. It's no bueno.
Nah,
nobody likes it.
No.
All
right, so if you go 3-3, you're at 6 there.
Okay.
Wide receiver wise, you have 5 locks.
I think you have 5 locks: Judy, Tillman, Thrash, Carter, and Bond.
Yep.
And then if there's 6, it could be Larvadan.
If you go 3-3, you could do 6 in this room.
And so if you do 6, you're at 12 there.
Yeah.
Then you'd go 3 would be my guess at tight end. Now, tight end, I think if you wanted to keep all 10 offensive linemen, which is possible, I do think you could go 2 tight ends, just Njoku and Fannin, and then get Whitehart, Bates, Canella, get 2 of those guys to your practice squad, and then you'll be able to use them for the first 6 weeks in some combination as the 3rd tight end.
Yeah.
So I do think that that's possible if they need that spot.
That might be a good strategic play for them too. As long as because you'd be confident you get 2 of the 3
well,
back.
You got your starting 5 on the line. You've got Tevin Jenkins, Luke Whippler, Zach Zinner, Cornelius Lucas, and then Jackson Barton's played really, really well for you. And Jackson Barton's a guy who's made 10 starts in his career. Right. He's so far in the preseason has had 43 pass blocking snaps and has given up 1 pressure. Like that feels pretty good given our tackle situations in the past.
So if you do that way, if you were able to go with the 3 quarterbacks, you can then take the 6 receivers, you can do the 2 tight ends, you can go the 10 offensive linemen, you're at 24.
Right. Or it would be 3 tight ends and 5 receivers.
Yeah. So 8 pass catchers.
Or 9.
Yeah.
On the O-line, and you hope that you can get somebody through.
But if you do the 4 quarterbacks, then it gets really tricky.
Yeah.
Then you're having to cut people you probably don't want.
Yeah. And then on the line, the defensive side, I do think there is some like player versus I think Cam Thomas and Julian Okwara are competing for 1 spot at defensive end.
Yeah,
I think that now it is possible, I guess, because I think you're going to have 5. You're going to have 5 ends, I think, and you're going to have 5 defensive tackles: Collins, Graham, Mike Hall, Shelby Harris, Aiden Huntington. I think Aiden Huntington's competing with Sam Kamara for that last spot. I think Aiden Huntington's done a really, really good job. Now linebacker, you only have 4 healthy linebackers right now: Bush, Schlesinger, Baker, and Mascarenas Arnold. So Diabate will be healthy. Reed will be healthy. So maybe you keep 5 there and you feel like you can get Mascarenas Arnold to the practice squad. He's leading your team in tackles in the preseason. He's got 11. He's been flying around. So, I think you could get away with 5 there. Now that, and Buki Watson's on IR now. And then corner. See, to me, this is the one that is the most, I have no idea what's going to happen here. I know Denzel Ward's going to make it. I know Greg Newsom's going to make it.
Be pretty surprising if Cam didn't.
Cam, Miles Harden. Then you've got Tony Brown, Nick Needham, Dom Jones. One of the guys you just brought in, maybe, who's got a little experience, Darius Rusher or Christian Holmes, maybe for like 1 spot.
Yeah.
And then at safety, I think you'll go with 5. I think you've got Hickman, Delpit, Rayshon, KZ and Edmonds. Or maybe you keep Needham as a guy who can play safety and, maybe he's competing with DeMonte KZ and Christopher Edmonds. 2 of those guys get 3 spots because Needham can also give you can get away with kind of 5 and 5 because Needham's both. Yeah, that's where it's dicey. That's why I said I think there are a great many positions that are fully locked in, like guys that are locked on the roster, but there are also the way that you figure out those final, call it, 5 or 6 spots, I think has a lot of different permutations.
That's all by Tuesday?
Tuesday at 4.
Yeah. Now, normally this stuff starts to trickle out Sunday.
Yeah, it starts trickling. Some of the cuts will start to trickle out. Yes, certainly.
Sunday morning.
It used to be, wasn't this done? Didn't this used to have to be done by Sunday, Gibbe?
Yeah.
Because I remember many times being at the lake and
Dude.
like doing shows about it
We
from
did
like the lake.
podcasts.
Yeah.
I may have been on
Podcasts
a
from the
boat
lake.
at the air show in my brother-in-law's boat, like trying to like record
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have to come in. I mean, but we would play on Thursday going into Labor Day weekend. So we'd have a fourth preseason game.
Yeah, you're right. The
You'd
fourth
play
preseason
Thursday
game.
night. Friday, sometimes the cutdown would either be Saturday or Sunday at 4:00. I mean, right in the middle of Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
And you would have to stop what you were doing to get the final,
it done.
the initial 53.
Don't you guys think now that we're, at this point, we're still 2 weeks before a game that matters, this goes to like what I was saying earlier this week about shortening this. Like when we go to an 18-game schedule, which will get the Super Bowl to President's Day, when that event inevitably happens,
Yep.
and you go down to 2 preseason games, you keep them this week and last week, and I think the give back to the PA will be we're going to start a week later with camp,
Yep.
maybe 2 weeks later. That'll be my
don't
guess
see
on
it.
that's how it's going to have to go. That'll be the give back, because to have this much practice and play just 2 games
It's
in
either
that
going
time,
to,
you're gonna want to climb the walls.
Are you going to
Yes.
shorten the?
It's too much.
Are you
Too
going to
much.
shorten the off-season program, or are you going to shorten training camp? Because
I
that's
think
where
you'll-
the fight will be.
I think it'll be about training camp. I think they'll shorten training camp a little bit. And I think coaches, I know every coach wants to over prepare and have more and more and more. There's never enough reps, never enough practices. I get it. But I think if you hooked them up to a lie detector test and said, if you were going to practice from, when we were here the 18th, 20th of July.
22nd.
Okay, if we push that to August 1,
That'd be great.
if you push that to August 1, you get the 2 preseason games. You got a 5-week ramp up to your first games that matter. You got a couple of joint practices worked in there. Does that prevent you from wanting to climb the walls? I bet it would. I bet it would be helpful.
It would definitely be helpful.
I think it would.
Yeah.
I just think it's – look at this. Look what we're going to
We
be
have 3
playing
more
tomorrow, man.
practices like next week.
This
Like,
is farcical what the Rams are running out
It's
here tomorrow.
It is.
It's
That's
a joke.
great word for it. It is farcical.
This is crazy.
Dresser win.
What did they sign him, Monday?
Let's see. Let's
Siciliano has said in the past. Like,
But this
they've
is the
signed a guy
problem.
on Monday and given him like 25 or 30
This
carries,
kid's gonna throw
telling
it
him like
40
we're going to
times.
cut you on Sunday.
Dresser win.
Yeah.
Was with the Rams on the practice squad or just in the offseason in 23 and 24.
So he's probably
And
still
he's
gonna
back
be
again.
around.
He spent some time with the Edmonton Elks
Sure. Former Edmonton Eskimos.
and the Memphis Showboats.
Okay.
His college career was 6 seasons at UT Martin.
6?
6 seasons at UT Martin, where he compiled a record of 12-13 as a starter across 6 seasons.
Come on.
How's he even like how?
How is this-
25 games in
There
6
are never
years?
get a shot. This guy
There
could-
aren't enough college quarterbacks. Clearly.
25 games in
This
6 years.
This goes back to what I want when I was a young man.
Come
when I was a
on.
young man, if we're gonna treat the preseason like this, I always had the idea of we could do like a video series out of it, where like I spend a week or 2 weeks, in the quarterback room,
Yeah.
train whatever, and I do like a series in the fourth quarter of the fourth
Oh
preseason
my
game.
God. We're gonna
And if
dive
every
back
yard
on
we
this
get
hill.
while I'm out
honestly
there,
isn't much more farcical than what the Rams are going to do
it's
tomorrow.
First of all, it's less farcical. Second of all,
really
it's going to
crazy.
benefit charity.
I don't know if it's less.
Second of all, it's
I
going to
don't know if
benefit
I'd say it's
charity.
less. This kid did play
It's
college
less
football.
farcical. This
We're
guy
gonna
completed
it's gonna
49% of his
benefit charity,
passes.
And then
Didn't-
on Monday,
I mean,
we
like,
have a
it's-
GoFundMe for Zaguri.
I love
Let me
you.
tell you something right now.
And I'm supportive.
I have two things on my resume that I'm going to share with you right now. Number one, Georgia State flag football champion as a quarterback. Thank you very little. And number two, when they
Flag
opened the
football.
ESPN zone in Atlanta, Georgia, Brad Johnson, Super Bowl champion quarterback, and I went one-on-one on their throwing game that they had.
Yeah.
Smoked him.
Smoked him.
First of all, okay.
The
It's
idea
less, not
that
as farcical as this guy.
is still
this
the,
guy's more farcical.
you're doing a Chad Powers. Is
Yes.
kind of what you're doing.
I would do Chad Powers.
Yes.
But wouldn't you want to see if I could get? What if I could
But I
complete
mean,
a pass? What if I end up in the
Of course,
in the ambulance?
I love you, and of course, I don't want you in an ambulance.
Me
I
neither.
want it out
But
quick.
it's
I want to see
possible.
all of that. But this speaks to just how silly this all is. Like what is going to be run out here tomorrow by the Rams. Now, you're still going to have fun watching us because you're going to get all the things that you want, but this is utter nonsense.
Okay.
Okay.
Edmonton Elks. He was on their practice squad.
He didn't
even
wasn't
get
even
to
a starter?
dress. Memphis Showboats.
Can we still talk about the fact that he played 25 games in 6 years of college?
Yeah, that's wild.
So what is that? 6 years.
He's 1-3 in the
games if you
UFL.
play
50%
11
completions,
games?
4 picks, 3 touchdowns.
Come on. What do you do
Earn
the other
enough.
40 games?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how it works. There was somebody else we just did this with when we were going through an actual depth chart. It might have been the Falcons. Like the back, there's not enough quarterbacks. There just aren't.
Oh,
There's not enough.
You're just inflating his ego.
No, I
No,
mean,
he's not. He
we're
shot
just
me
being
down.
serious.
He was being
I didn't
honest
shoot you
about it.
down.
No,
I
you
just
shot me down.
I did not. I said I
I'll
love
shoot
you.
you
I don't
down.
want you hurt.
J-Mac,
It's just crazy.
I could sling it out there for
It's just
one
crazy
series.
that this is where we're at.
Jordan,
Absolutely.
don't entertain.
He knows, dude.
All right.
Game recognized game, Gibbe.
Z, I know you can interview Coach Stefanski. You do
Oh,
a
and
very
I
good
will.
job of that, and we're gonna play that for you coming up next. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Fun you're a fan of the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place the first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now here is Z, one-on-one with Coach from the Stefanski Show last night.
All right, Coach, preseason.
You're down 10 minutes.
A game at home. It feels like we have been on the road for quite some time here. What are you hoping to see? You've mentioned, obviously, that pretty much everybody is going to play, except for those that would probably be pretty obvious that don't need that kind of work. What are you looking for from this football team against the Rams?
Well, I think the fun part, number one, like you said, is being back at home, being in front of our fans. You know, we haven't been down to the stadium in a minute. We didn't. Typically, we've gone down there in the spring for a practice. We weren't able to do that just with some concert schedules. But we're finally get down there. Some of our coaches figure out where to park. You know, new players figure out where to park, where to walk over. So it is important to get this one under our belt at home. But the idea that we get to go out on a beautiful day, it looks like, in front of our fans is exciting for us.
What do you want to see from Joe?
Boring, operate, get the ball to our guys in space, get us into the right plays, all the things that go to orchestrating that position.
Is there any kind of a discussion, and it's a preseason game, where you would talk to Sean and be like, hey, let's just not beat up the quarterbacks? Because I don't know, this is just me talking. I don't know if you're able to watch any of Cincinnati and Washington on Monday, but there were two plays in particular where there could have been big shots on Joe Burrow and Jane Daniels, and clearly they pulled up.
Interesting. Yeah, I did not see that. Listen, it's football. We understand the risks involved when we're playing this game. It's our job as coaches, it's our job as an offense to keep our quarterback upright. Joe knows how to play this game, but when you go out there and you're on the field, it's football.
Yes, it is. There are things to still be decided here. This is the final opportunity. Yes, it's great. We're going to see the stars. We're going to see the people that we know are on this roster headed into Cincinnati. But there are some decisions, and some young guys in particular have made some of these decisions, I think, probably very difficult in a good way. What do you want to see from those guys who have carried some momentum? And all items that I've seen, Gage Lardan on offense, Aiden Huntington on defense.
Yeah, I think, again, the fun part for me as a coach and us as coaches is we've seen a lot of these guys, not just the games. And obviously our fans, if you're able to come out to practice, see a little bit more. But we've been watching these guys perform since really going back to the draft, studied them, get them here in May for the rookie minicamp. They're here all spring. So this has really been a long evaluation of our players. And then the fun part is when the lights are on and it's game time, you get to see them perform. So I'm excited when our guys make plays like that. There's a bunch of young guys that continue to show up in practice and then show up in the games. And I think when you're doing that, you're being consistent and you're saying to us and you're saying to your teammates that, hey, my game travels to this game field.
All right. We've seen the young quarterbacks. We've seen Shador have a nice game. We've seen Dylan have a nice game. Joe is going to start. Do you have kind of the plan in your mind of what's going to happen after that?
Yeah, Joe will start. The game flow is going to be so important, how it unfolds in terms of when Joe comes out. But Dylan will go in after Joe is out, and then Shador will come in after Dylan's out. So these guys have done a really, really nice job. Quarterbacks in general, but the rookies have done a really nice job in doing everything that's asked of them, working extremely hard on their craft. And they've both had their opportunities in the games, Shador versus Carolina, Dylan versus Philly, and then get them back out there for hopefully about the same amount of snaps in this game as well.
When you put a young quarterback into a preseason environment, take operation out of it, what are you looking to either confirm or to learn in that environment? I'll say it this way. For example, there are certain things in terms of with Dylan, right? When you watch his tape, rhythmic, anticipatory, totally calm, accurate. I saw those things for Shador. Ball placement, poise in the pocket. Confirmation of what you saw on tape that made you say, hey, this guy could be a good quarterback for us.
Well, I think the big thing for me would be the guys that we saw in those games were the exact same guys that we've seen in practice. And that's the important part. You want to be able to take the practice field to the game field. And both of them performed exactly how I would want them to perform and how I would expect them to perform. Does that mean they were perfect? No. There are plays, man, that's the fun part that we have as coaches, like to get these guys better, to develop them. And there's plays that right when they happened, I knew it. Okay, we got to get that fixed. Or that's something, okay, you made a play here, but think about this. That's ongoing development with our young players. But I think both of them, what they did was exactly what I've seen them do at practice.
So I was watching a video that Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner did, and it was about a 30-minute video on us in Philadelphia. and I was fascinated by some of the things, and he talked so much about going empty, which we do a fair amount of here, and what he liked about it. What do you like about being in those empty sets? And he was very adamant in his mind. He liked, so it was 2x3, always sliding the protection away from the 3 side because he thought he had multiple quick answers on the 3 side. It was just interesting football
I'll
talk.
have to check it out because I have a ton of respect for Kurt, and I think he does an awesome job. So I will check that out. I like empty if the quarterback likes empty.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Some guys just see it really well. It obviously spreads people out. You can be in 3x2. You can be in 1x4 at times. So I think there's really the comfort level of the quarterback, and then our determination on where to slide the center is based twofold on where the hot answers are and where the quarterback's read is. So what you want to do, and if we're just talking ball, if you got a 4 down front and you need the center to slide one way or the other, you're going to let him slide to the left, and you're going to make sure that the quarterback's eyes are to the right to start, and you're going to make sure that the quarterback has a hot answer to the right to start. Because what you don't want to do is have the quarterback's eyes to the left, he's hot to the right, doesn't see it, and gets hit. Now, there are times where some quarterbacks like to put their hot on the backside so that they can get hit harmlessly in the back as they're using their hot to the left. And that does happen at times. If you're doing that, you better make sure as a quarterback that you know when that hot occurs, because in the case where you don't know that you're hot, that's a free and clear hit on the quarterback.
Do you find these young guys like empty because they've been in shotgun their whole lives probably, and
I don't think you're going to find many quarterbacks that don't like empty.
Okay.
So that's, I guess the bigger question becomes the concepts out of empty that you like. Do you want to get the ball out of your hand quickly? Do you want to push the ball down the field? Do you want to have a lot of option routes? Do you want to have more things that are locked? That's really based on preference of the QB.
And that's got to be probably an interesting balance, because when you juxtapose that and those decisions and the brevity of those decisions with the under center, marriage of the run and pass, kind of more that back to the defense play action, a quarterback who's going to succeed doing both of those is going to have a real mastery of being able to paint that picture, repaint it, but also make quick decisions if you're in the empty.
Without a doubt. When you're in empty, the threat of the run is not
existent
there. Now, can the quarterback run? Sure. But you're telling the line, you're like, hey, pass rush, and you're also telling the line potentially to drop into zones. You'll see some linebackers when you get an empty go pat the defensive tackle on the butt and say, hey, I need you to drop here, and now we're dropping 8. So you're certainly playing a different defense than you are, say, when there's the threat of the run. There's so many different ways to get into empty. There's so many different personnels to get into empty. There's things that you can try to manipulate the defense when you get into empty. But I really think it goes back to what the quarterback is comfortable with, because they're the ones that make that thing go.
So when you go into a game like this and you do play some of the starters, we had Bernie in yesterday, and he said one of the things that he loved in that final preseason tune-up, he's like, Cincinnati's going to watch it, but they know that you know that they know, and you can go back and forth forever like the Princess Bride. So what is that chess match overblown in the media's mind, or is there something there that maybe we're showing you something that you think we're showing you, but we're not showing you because you think we're showing it to you?
Yeah, over the years, we've definitely done things in this last game that we want the defense to see. There's also plenty of times where we are just super vanilla and we just don't want to show anything. Hey, we're not going to motion at all. We're just going to line up and go. So it's really based on what you need as an offense in that given year. We this year took the approach. We had a full game plan, and there's a lot that's on the call sheet that we're going to just take off the call sheet. We don't want to call it. We want to save those things. But we wanted this week these guys to get the reps of the install and run those plays in practice. Now, having said that, there's plenty that we're going to do in this game that we probably could do in week 1 as well, because it's just a core part of who we are, and Cincinnati knows that about us, and so does the rest of the league. And conversely, there's things I know that they're going to do based on what we've studied. The difference this year being that they have a new defensive coordinator in Al Golden down in Cincinnati. So Coach Golden's been in the NFL, has a history in the NFL, has a history at the Bengals, was at the Fighting Irish and did a great job there. So there's always uncertainty going into a game where there's a new coordinator, but it's also football, and we feel like we've seen a lot of football over the past month, both at practice versus Coach Schwartz, and then in these preseason games at Carolina and at Philly.
How'd the team respond kind of that transition into a real week? Because this is your first glimpse at these guys going through that those machinations getting ready for a game.
Yeah, I was really pleased with how the guys handled the week. I thought they stayed in the moment. They worked very hard at what we asked them to do, and also different than a regular season week. We still did a lot of what I call Browns versus Browns, still a lot of competitive periods. So when you're in the season, you're running off of the card. So the scout team looks at the card, hey, run this play. They go run the play versus your defense. We will do that, but this week we did less of that, and it was more of, hey, this is our Browns offense versus our Browns defense. Let's still get better, while in the structure of a given week, so that they felt the rhythm of the meetings, they felt the rhythm of the practice.
Coach, should be a lot of fun down there on Saturday, getting in front of the fans again in the final tune-up before the season opener. Thanks for the time as always, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan.
All right, there you go. Preseason finale tomorrow at the stadium. The Hoff? Yeah, maybe. Could be. We'll go around the league.
Is he going to be here?
We're definitely going around the league. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Serious Lawyers, Serious Injuries. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio for a free case for you. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. As we go around the league, big trade today. Washington Commanders traded running back Brian Robinson to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a 26 sixth-round pick. So there was rumors that this was going to happen a couple of weeks ago. They officially kind of put him on the market this week. I did not have him landing in San Francisco. So I guess they're going to try to do their own little thunder and lightning, obviously, and they don't want to be in a situation where they're over-reliant on McCaffrey after what happened last year.
Yeah, well, Jordan Mason, who was with them last year kind of in that role and actually was like leading the league in rushing, I think, through 4 weeks or something like that, ended up in Minnesota this year with Aaron Jones, and so they needed to get another back in there. And you talk to my dad, it's like every back they've had has basically gotten hurt. Every single one. Everybody that they have on their roster has gotten hurt. So they were desperate for another back.
Yeah, you give up a 6 and you get a stud. And now, they're going to be better than – I think that really – if McCaffrey can stay healthy and you can go with both of those guys, it's a nice spot.
Certainly probably limits maybe a little bit on McCaffrey's fantasy value for those people who are concerned with such things. But, Brian Robinson is just a big dude, 6'1", 228. Here's what he's done, by the way. I don't know, very consistent between 733 and 799 yards rushing every year. He averages 4.1 yards a carry for his career. He last year had a career-high 8 touchdowns. He can catch the ball a little bit. He's produced at least 8 total touchdowns in each of the last 2 seasons. He's averaging over the last 2 years 1,000 yards from scrimmage and 8.5 touchdowns a game. A season, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Well, it's awesome. And now they don't have to rely so heavily on McCaffrey, and so now you can have both, and I love the deal from their perspective.
Yeah. It is interesting with, these trades, and we're seeing, so many trades now. Was it just a 6th, just straight up him for a 6th?
That's what I saw.
Yeah, we saw a lot of other trades where it's like, you get this guy and we get a 6th, but we'll give you the guy in a 7th, just to slide around. So I think you'll see a lot more movement also between kind of the end of these games this weekend and Tuesday. I think there could be more trades as people want to say, I don't want this person to be exposed to waivers. Now, one thing to remember that's good for the Browns is they have the second waiver priority. So basically the Tennessee Titans get everybody that they want, and then the Browns get everybody that they want, and it goes on through the league. So the Browns have a good opportunity, where in the position that they're in, that they might not have to trade for somebody because they know, we've got a good waiver spot.
Have our eye on corners and linebackers, I would imagine, in that scenario. We would have said wide receivers, but then all of a sudden Isaiah Bond showed up, and now that's a little bit
that really
different.
changes that calculus.
Yeah, absolutely it does. What did Pedro think of the deal?
He hasn't commented on it. Surprisingly, we'll get a real-time feedback.
Yeah, get a real-time
feedback. He's been texting me
feedback
about other stuff.
Oh, shocking.
Yeah.
Is he watching?
I got him good though. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He actually came back and was like, "That was funny."
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
did
good.
Is he watching the Cowboys doc on Netflix?
Let's see. I'll find out that as well.
So it's 8 episodes,
and I'm through 3.
I finished it last night.
It's awesome.
I watched all 8 this week. I found it to be, as you could probably tell with that type of voracious appetite to take it out.
Sure.
I found it completely captivating. I think it's almost all of the warts for Jerry, almost. There's one thing that's missing if you pay attention to the story closely, but for the most part, it's all the warts. I thought the participation that they got from especially Jimmy and Jerry was incredible, incredibly candid, and just awesome. The second to last episode is pretty much just all of the chaos that followed the 3rd Super Bowl, but it's primarily about our guy Irv. It's pretty much an hour about Irv.
Yep.
And I had forgotten some of it. Some of it I had remembered. I forgot how – it's funny. I forgot how a lot of their careers ended, how they retired, and the circumstances surrounding all those guys' retirements.
That'll be new information.
Yeah, because we were in college at that time, and to me, when I think back to the Cowboys dynasty, it kind of ends in '95, but they all played there another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
'95 was Deion's first year in Dallas. He played for the 49ers in '94, and he was with the Falcons before that. So you feel like he was there for the run. He really wasn't. He was there for the one Super Bowl.
One.
And so it's just it's awesome. You watched the third episode,
which
was
was
the NFC Championship game from '92.
Yeah, 2 picks from Steve Young. So.
It was interesting. I found Jerry Rice's stuff so interesting because it was almost like we're royalty. Like we're the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
You're not coming in. I mean, no one beating us. Like we won 4 Super Bowls. Like,
By the way, how about the field conditions?
Did you remember it that way?
I remembered pictures of the sidelines being all muddy, but I didn't remember the field being that bad.
So in the NFC Championship game played in San Francisco at Candlestick in '92, it's the most absurd field conditions you'll ever see. It truly was. Yeah. They actually repeated again in '95. I think it was a similar situation in San Francisco. '94, '95. There was an NFC Championship game in San Francisco that had similar, where it was just underwater.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that a lot of times watching Niner games, that the weather was bad or that the field wasn't bad, but it was really unplayable, quite honestly.
In a lot of places, yeah.
Yeah, and Jimmy walked the field.
Yeah, and he's like, we'll be more prepared for the field. I'm like, and I was thinking when he said that to myself, I'm like, I'm sure they're going to understand where the bad parts are too. Now, when they threw the famous play to Alvin Harper, which should have been obviously to Michael Irvin, but
tell the folks the setup for that.
So they had run a play. It was 6, 8, 9, which are the routes, like 6 times in a game. Think about how different that is now.
Oh my God.
You're not running a play 6 times in a game.
Do you think it's so different because now we have the instant ability to instantly see a play on the boards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Versus getting the microfiche and all the stuff they were doing in those days.
And they would get a little printout.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it's very different. But when they had run the play, it's a bang 8 for Irv, and it was a curl for Harper. And every time they had run it earlier in the game, the ball had gone to Harper. And so when they call the play in the huddle, Irv is like, first of all, Norv Turner convinces Jimmy Johnson to throw the ball and to throw this particular play and to throw it to Irv. They want to run.
And it's at a critical.
The bang 8 to Irv.
The Niners have come all the way back.
Yep.
And they're ready to, if they get it out, it's a third down.
Right. They get a stop. So they come out, and I think it was first down because that's what he said. If you throw it on first down, it's incomplete. It stops the clock. I think it was first down.
You're right. There was 3 minutes left in the fourth.
Yes.
And
they needed to run it out.
They had just scored. The Niners had just scored. 4 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah.
Someone was saying, we got to run it, and Norv's going,
I want to run this.
We got to
throw it.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jimmy finally gives the okay, all right, we're going to throw it. So they call the play in the huddle, and Irv, instead of going where he should have gone to be the slant, he goes to where Alvin Harper had been, tells Alvin Harper to go to the other side because every time they'd run that play, that's where the ball had gone. And instead on this one, and Aikman goes, am I really going to trust Alvin Harper in this situation? Right. He did. It's in the sloppy part of the field. The Niners guy slips. Harper takes it and runs, 70 yards down to the 10-yard line, and that ends up being the game, basically the game-clinching play as they go and finish the drive out. And Irv's running after Harper down the field screaming, that's my ball, that's my ball, that's my ball.
So good.
It's just...
He's got his hands
he's like this. That's my ball. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Irv's so good.
It's so good. It's funny. I watched with NBC last night, and he watched a couple episodes with me, and he said, "Dad, well, who did they play in the Super Bowl?" Because so much of that one, and really 94, 95, when they do those games, you'll get to those in the coming episodes. It's all that this is the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Whoever won that game was good. We weren't even worried about the Super Bowl. This was the Super Bowl. And he's like, well, who did they play? And he's like, why doesn't the Super Bowl matter? I'm like, because from 1983 to 1997 or 8 or whenever the Broncos won, not only did the NFC win the Super Bowls, largely they won them 2-1 scoring margins. I mean, it was
the Niners
doubled up
55-10
the
Broncos.
The Niners Dolphins game was not close in 84.
38-16.
The Bears game was 46-10 against the Pats. There was a close game in 86, sort of. Giants, I want to say it was Giants Broncos in 86 was sort of close, sort of, but I think it was a multiple score game. The only one that was really close was the Norwood wide right. The rest of them were beatdowns.
Yeah.
Prolific beatdowns.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, it's interesting how it changed because the AFC then had this run with Manning. I mean, it started with Elway, but then Manning and, of course, Brady. And then the Steelers won a couple, and then Mahomes, where it was like the AFC just kept winning. Now it's split pretty evenly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting how all of that happened. It was so cool how. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of talent that was on those fields.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they're just Those are just completely
Yeah.
loaded professional teams top their game. And I thought Jerry Rice saying at the end, the worst thing we ever did was trade Charles Haley.
Yeah.
And I will say this, because I've never heard Charles Haley say this about Joe Montana, but he said, I knew if I could get it, rattle Steve Young, we had it.
Yeah.
Can't rattle Joe Montana.
Yeah, the circumstances surrounding all that, and I know there's been documentaries about it, about Joe getting hurt the year before in preseason or whatever, and then he was out like a year and a half. Joe was out, and then Young wins the MVP of the league in '92.
Yes,
and then Joe finally gets healthy towards the end of the year in the playoffs. Like, we would never have a circumstance like that now, where that would happen.
No.
It's just impossible to see that. Where a guy would miss that much time. Like, did you know when Joe went down that the injury was that serious? Like, where he'd miss like a year and a half of football?
No, because I mean, there were
you're a little kid, you're young, and you don't.
By '92,
middle school,
14.
Yeah, but yeah, you
Spring
probably didn't
13,
realize
but
that
no,
it was
they
like,
would-
he's out a
no.
year and a half. You're like, wait,
No.
what? What do you mean he's out a year and a half?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was wild. One thing that they really undersell in the next episode is they minimize how great the 49ers are in '94. So much of it's about Barry and the Emmett contract and all of that, and it's almost like they kind of frame it a little bit like we were not at our best. Eric Williams got in a car accident. That's why we lost. And
they were.
My view of that was that '94 Niners team is one of the best football teams I've ever seen.
They were 2 touchdown favorites in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. What did they go? 14-2? Had to be. I would be shocked if they were less than 14-2 in '94. Yeah, that was squad.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, Dion came over. Ken Norton was there because
Yeah.
they got him from Dallas.
Yeah. All right. '94. The Niners go 13-3. They win the Super Bowl, so they go 13-3. They beat the Bears 44-15, and they beat the Cowboys 38-28, and they beat the Chargers 49-26.
Yeah.
So they averaged over 40 points a game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, they were a jeez Louise.
They should have dropped that. They should have dropped that series like in February.
Yes.
They should have dropped it like right around the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like right after the Super Bowl, leading into the Super Bowl. There's just so much going on right now that people aren't going to be able to consume it the way that you'd like to consume it in a different time of year.
So that '94 team, you have Steve Young as the MVP of the league that year. Ricky Waters has 1,600 total yards and 11 touchdowns and is a Pro Bowler. Jerry Rice leads the league with 112 catches, 1,499 yards, 13 touchdowns, and is he's third in the MVP voting. He's a first-team All-Pro. Brent Jones, the tight end, great Brent Jones, 49, 670, and 9 is a Pro Bowler and the second-team All-Pro. You got another Pro Bowler, that's Steve Young, who's a Pro Bowler, all blah, 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 blah.
Was he the MVP in '94 too?
Yeah, he's the MVP in '94 as well.
So
they had
92,
William
94.
Floyd, bar none.
Bar none.
They had bar none. And then
Well,
defensively.
didn't Dion win Defensive Player of the Year?
All right, so defensively, you've got Merton Hanks, who had 7 picks and was a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro. Tim McDonald, the other safety, was a Pro Bowler. Bryant Young was third in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. Dana Stubblefield had 8.5 sacks, was a Pro Bowler. Jesse Sapolo, the left guard, was a Pro Bowler. Lee Woodall, the linebacker, was 6th in the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. Dion is a Pro Bowler, first-team All-Pro, is also top 3 in the MVP voting and the Defensive Player of the Year. He had 6 picks and 3 pick sixes.
It's the single best season a cornerback has ever had.
Yeah, they had like Richard Dent was at the end of his career.
One of
They
those
had
guys on the
Richard
team.
Dent.
No, so when you get to that, I think they don't tell the total
Yeah,
truth
they had
on that. They
Stubblefield
turned it a
and
lot
Bryant
about Barry.
Young were their defensive I mean, they're loaded.
Yeah, and Dion was unbelievable.
Yeah.
A couple other things. The Vikings have inquired about trading for Panthers veteran wide receiver Adam Thielen. That would make a lot of sense if that did indeed happen. I would think Adam would like that too. Although I can't imagine why the Panthers would do that because they're trying to take a step. I don't know.
Yeah,
why
you got
Carolina
McMillan. You got 2 first-round picks each of their last 2 drafts, McMillan and Leggett.
would still think you'd want him in the slot.
I think they like that
blanket.
Horn kid from Colorado.
No, he's a
little
nice
bit.
player.
Jimmy
He's a
Horn.
nice player. Steelers first-round pick Derek Harmon out of Oregon injured his knee in last night's preseason game against the Panthers and was carted off the field. This is why preseason it's tough. And I know you can get hurt anywhere, but just it's one more high leverage area to put players in that's very dicey, and that's a big loss. I mean, talking about
Yeah.
a first-round pick and someone they were going to count on certainly in the middle of their front, and probably expedites the Cam Hayward conversations.
Yeah.
Because now it's like we need big Cam in there in a big way. All right.
So they think it was a sprain. Like, it's not going to be.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I saw
yeah.
it carted out. I hate to
Yeah.
see guys lost.
For sure.
All right, Notre Dame has unveiled a new logo for the first time in 6 decades. It's an updated version of their leprechaun logo. The old version had the leprechaun depicted with fists up in a fighting stance. The new logo shows the leprechaun running with the traditional football tucked under his arm. So if you're watching on the stream, here it is. It is a.
Is it a
or
replacement? Like, is this gone?
No. So what they did, switch to this cam, Dr. J. There you go. What they did is they took, this guy. This is their guy.
This
So
guy's
think
the
of
best.
this is like proud
Proud Brownie.
Proud
and then
Brownie.
This is like
this
angry.
is-
Okay.
Yeah, this is the guy running. So basically, what they did they're doing this version for all their sports. So there will be a basketball version of this guy.
Okay.
They'll do it for all of them.
Okay.
I don't mind it.
Okay.
I don't mind it, but they're keeping this guy. This guy's still
As long as he's there, I'm good.
yeah, he's staying. He's staying there. They could be in a crunch. This is a little bit of college football, Nate, but the SEC is going to play 9 conference games starting in 2026. They previously had played 8. They're also mandating all of their teams play 1 out of conference games. They're going to play 10 Power 5 games, or Power 4 now. The ACC is thinkingly going to move to a similar number, and I do wonder if this will squeeze Notre Dame to have to be in a conference, because there just aren't going to be any teams
Enough.
for them
Yeah,
to play
yeah.
them. They have the ACC schedule that they can still do, but if the Big Ten ever said our teams aren't going to play you, which could happen, then Notre Dame would have to make a decision.
Yeah. I mean, they should be in the Big Ten at this point.
I would agree. Yeah, all their rivals are in the Big Ten. Big Ten should have just took Cal and Stanford too. Honestly, they should have
Yes.
just taken and done all of those teams.
Yes.
Elk and Elk Serious Lawyers, Serious Injuries. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio for a free case for you. Elk and Elk is a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Gibbe going one-on-one with Christopher Edmonds coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, Barking Backers, official dog club of the Cleveland Browns, is back for the 2025 season. Get your pup in on the action, exclusive gear, events, and more. Memberships available now. Fetch yours today or a gift membership to a furry friend at barkingbackers.com. Barking Backers is presented by Milk Bone. It's in association with Embrace Pet Insurance and Pet Supplies Plus. Now here is Gibby, one-on-one with Browns second-year safety, Christopher Edmonds.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Here with
You're down.
safety, the young man out of Samford and Arizona State, vying for a spot in that safety room here as we get ready for preseason game number 3. How has this training camp been different than a year ago?
Definitely been a lot more competitive. Definitely been harder from the standpoint of what the coaches have just been expecting out of us. They've been pushing us harder. Like, we had dog days and stuff like that. I mean, it's just been – and everybody just competing. Like, everybody's competing – not everybody, but, like, most of us competing for spots and stuff like that. So it's been very competitive, very tough. But it's been fun as well. Like, we've come together as brothers this year. I mean, so it's just been a blessing to be here.
What about for you personally? You know, a year ago, undrafted rookie, kind of making your way through things and working out all the stops and figuring out your way around the rookie part of your season. You know, what's been the biggest difference from year one to now?
Definitely just getting more comfortable. You know, just year one, you coming in, you just trying to, just make sure you do everything right, just be so technical and stuff like that. Year two, you get more comfortable in the scheme, you get more comfortable in the field. You're like, okay, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm here now, I'm getting more comfortable, just feeling a lot better. And we also have great vets in the room, great vets on the team. Like, all of our vets are cool. So, like, any questions you have, like, they're easy to answer. Like, they'll answer them. Like, we got great vets, great coaches, man. They explain everything pretty well.
So that's where I was going to go next. You know, how nice is it to come back and not have any change in the coaching standpoint?
Amazing.
I mean, that's, especially with Coach Bonda and obviously Jim Schwartz as the DC, and even guys like Tarver, who I know rave about you from a linebacker standpoint and what you can do at the safety position. How great is it to have that entire coaching staff back?
It's amazing because you have the coaching staff that wanted you here in the first place, and for them to be back another year, like, they just, they keep just like telling me about like the same stuff, like, like same message, you know what I'm saying? So, like, telling me you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, you're not hearing a different perspective, you're hearing the same perspective. You know what I'm saying? And they just make me feel more comfortable in the defense. So,
all right, from a player standpoint, who's the veteran you've gravitated to on the defense?
On the defense, I mean, like, we got some good vets in our safety room. So, of course, Grant, Rayshawn and Casey both came in and done a great job. They've been great. They're both going into year 9 into the league. So, just like asking them questions about stuff they've seen in the league, like how they handle different situations. Grant, he's going on like year 6, so asking him the same questions, man. So in my room, I got great vets in my room.
It's a great group, and I mean, we remember when Grant got drafted, and it was during COVID, and we met him over Zoom, and he's come a long way, and he's the elder statesman. We were giving him the business about that a few days ago, about being the elder statesman. He was like, I'm still a young guy and all that, but he is. I mean, you talk about the 2 vets that we signed in the offseason, but from a guy that has experienced everything in this room with this football team, he's the guy that kind of leads the charge here.
Most definitely.
So, taking a look at the defense, you mentioned just kind of being a lot more physical, especially in training camp. How do you feel these joint practices have helped you? Going to Philly for 2 great days of workouts, but also that day in Carolina.
So, I mean, the joint practice is always great because, you get tired of just beating up on each other and going against your teammates in practice. So when you get to go against another team, man, it's just great. Just, it gets a little more competitive, man. And now you're battling with your guys, not just against your guys, but you're battling with your guys. So it's always a different feel when you're battling with your guys. Like, it's just a little more onto it, you know what I'm saying? So the joint practice was great for us.
All right, so every coach has told us, and even a lot of the players have said, you're probably one of the most improved from year 1 to year 2. What did you do differently this offseason to get ready for this season?
I worked my butt off this offseason, training. I know during that first break in March, I spent a whole month in Miami just, down there training with my guys like Jamari and Miles Harden. So just down there training my butt off. When we got that next break, I'm just making sure I'm just trying to train every day, making sure I'm just looking over the scheme, like special teams, defense, just making sure I'm, you can't let, like, being undrafted, you can't let the little stuff like that, like not knowing the scheme or not knowing what you're supposed to do, like, you can't let that mess you up. So making sure I just know what I'm doing and then just playing like 100% effort.
All right, so we talk about defense, and it's one way to make the team, but the other way is to be good on special teams. And how have you taken that approach to the next level from year 1 to year 2 under Bubba Ventrone?
Just making sure I'm trying to be a four-core special teams guy. Like wherever you need me, like whatever spot you need me, you know what I'm saying? I can be that guy. Like I can be a versatile special teams guy. You can move me around and just making sure I'm giving 100% effort and knowing my job.
All right. Have you lobbied at all to Bubba, or do you need us to lobby for you to return anything? Do you want to return kicks or punts?
Hey, if they need me to, I'll get back there and return some kicks, man. I haven't done it since high school, but hey, if they need me to get back there, I'll definitely do it.
All right, high school and then on to college. Played at Samford. Why Samford?
So coming out of high school, I was like kind of raw talent, so not really highly recruited. Samford, not too far from home, about 2.5 hours, and they were like really one of the only schools that were kind of like offering me like preferred walk-on. So and they were great academic schools, so it just made the most sense. And they gave me an opportunity, man. I'm blessed they gave me the opportunity.
So, and then you become one of the top defensive players in the country, playing at Samford, there for a couple of years. Then you decide to go on to Arizona State, even bigger stage, where you excel and do really well at. Why Arizona State?
So when I hit the portal, like my main goal was like, I know I'm a Power 5 player. Like I want to go play Power 5 football. Arizona State, they kind of came on like late. But it was Coach Fletcher. Coach Fletcher, he was a DB coach at Missouri, and Missouri offered me. But then he ended up taking a job at Arizona State. So when he got to Arizona State, he kind of re-offered me there. You know what I'm saying? I had already kind of built that relationship with him. Sure. So, it just made that decision easy when he got there.
Everybody makes a lot about the portal, and everybody's moving around. But at the end of the day, it's still relationships then.
Facts, most definitely.
So as you get ready for preseason game number 3, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve here on Saturday in front of the home crowd at Huntington Bank Field?
Want to get a W for sure, man. We want to finish this preseason off 3-0, finish on a high note. And just for myself, just want to continue doing what I've been doing, doing my job at a high level, doing whatever the coaches need me to do, and just giving 100% effort at all times.
All right. You got into you were active for 2 games last year, Philly and Baltimore at the end of the year. What did you learn from those 2 experiences that drives you and gives you the hunger to want more?
Just getting that little taste. Like you just got that little taste of what it feels like to be in an actual regular season game, and that just drives me. Like I need that. I need that for a full season of that. Like just getting that little taste, man. I want more than just that. You know what I'm saying? Like coaches always talk about hungry dogs run faster. I'm hungry, so that's the main thing.
All right, my guy Zagura over here. He always asks, "What's one thing you want Browns fans to know about you?" So my question to you is, what do you want Browns fans to know about Christopher Edmonds?
Just know that you got a guy that's going to give it 100% at all times, man. Just appreciate him, just blessed that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Just blessed to be in this position.
Hey, we wish you all the best of luck on Saturday, going forward as well, and hopefully we're seeing you run out of that tunnel on September 7th against the Bengals.
Yes,
appreciate the time and continued success.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Good job out of you, Gibbe, on that. We'll go around the sports world. Final weekend of the NFL and the preseason is upon us. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in. We have Ryder Cup uniforms
Sharp.
that are leaked.
Yeah, they look sharp.
Young Brock in studio with us. Good to see you.
Brock.
Final
Hey,
day.
fellas.
Final day, buddy. Good to see you.
You too. It's weird being on the other side of the glass.
Welcome.
Good to have you. Look at him.
Welcome.
Oh, man, you got a lower third?
Look at that.
Awesome.
That's
Thanks,
great.
J-Mac.
Yes.
Dr. J on it. These look to me, so they're Ralph Lauren. They look to me like they are straight out of the Wolf of Wall Street.
So they look to me like they are from the 1992 Logo Athletic collection.
Because you see Logo Athletic all over everything with the Dallas
But
Cowboys.
that's what it was.
That's
That
what
was
it
logo,
was.
those those like hats that were
Yeah.
like that.
They're the ones with the shark.
The shark.
thing.
That was when I went to college. I had one of those.
One of those,
Oh,
yeah. They were pretty money.
Not bad.
Isn't that
Yeah.
weird how like the NFL had this like a company like that was like an audit like them, and I think Apex was another one, were like incredible uniform and gear suppliers. Like
Yeah, and
what happened to those companies?
Is Logo Athletic even exist anymore?
I don't know. I know Aikman was a big guy on it. Big guy.
Yeah. Huge.
So the rare 2-year. It's rare that we get a 2-year,
I know.
buddy. I mean,
I
that's
know.
very rare. I
It's
can't
been
remember.
nice.
Did we do this, Gibby? Did we have Brock in here last year?
I think we might have. Well,
Yeah.
no, we were in Seattle. It was the
Oh,
72
you're right.
hours from hell. It's great. Loved every minute of it.
You did love it.
Did love it.
We had a couple very fine,
some fun nights.
quality evenings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
everybody
that was
knew the stories
it.
of
It
what-
rained the whole time, and then we didn't play anybody. Remember, like it was a Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern kick.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And you guys flew.
Yeah.
Yeah. This ain't that.
No.
What'd you learn?
I learned so much from everyone here. I mean, you guys, I love working with the great people in this organization. I learned so much about behind the scenes of the radio show, and Gibbs taught me so much. And then just watching you guys every day, I learned how to be on air and just how to be a professional.
Would you say that the amount of time that it took for you to learn all of the things Gibby does is over or under 2 minutes?
I would definitely say smash the over.
Give you. That was probably. It had to be a death stare. It's what it felt like.
Well,
Yeah. It felt like
just
it through my-
intrigued. I'm intrigued by where this is going. It's about 95 seconds.
What is?
5 seconds.
95 seconds.
And this is what I do. There
Would
go.
you say that it is more entertaining on the air or more entertaining off the air?
Off the air, no question. No question.
We always say, like, at some point when we are no longer, like, the off the air, that'll just
Oh
be the
man,
show.
yeah,
The off the air will just be the show.
absolutely.
Is the way that's going to go. All right, so you're back for the senior year.
Yes, yeah. I go
This is
back
it.
to school on Sunday.
He's like the captain of the club basketball team at Butler.
Oh baby,
I am, yeah.
What's your game? What's your game comp? We always do game comps.
You know, in high school, I was just the corner three specialist. I would sit in the corner, shoot those threes. But now I've evolved. Our team at Butler is a bunch of short guards who love to shoot the ball. So I'm kind of the point guard, and I think this year I'll facilitate a lot.
There you go.
like
do
a
you guys,
Steve Nash.
Do you guys get to play in Hinkle?
You know, I'm working on that. That's one of my responsibilities as captain. So
Okay.
I'm going to try and pull some strings and work my contacts and see if we can get a game in Hinkle.
There should at least be one. How could there not be? I mean, at least one.
I have played in there a couple times over my 3 years so far.
Do you find that it's a good shooting gym? It feels like it would be a good shooting gym because of how
Yeah.
tight everything is,
Yeah.
especially the backboards.
I think it is. Compared to I've shot in Cleveland State before, and you know they have that green wall back there. That's tough. That's always difficult for shooters, but it's kind of open behind the hoops in Hinkle. So yeah, I think it's kind of easy to shoot there.
Yeah,
And
I
at
think
least
it's
it's
an
close
elite-
there. Like
yeah,
I think
it's
that's what's
close.
hard when if you've never shot in like an NBA arena before, and you go and you shoot an NBA arena, you're like your depth perception's so
Oh, yeah.
off.
You
Yeah.
usually, I always found that like if I shot at the Schottenstein Center or I shot at the Q, that the first one I usually airball because it seems like I
Just-
can touch it,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, oh,
Oh, now I got it.
now
Yeah.
I'm where I need to be.
All right. So Steve Nash or Steph Curry, who's going to be your comp for this year for you?
I would say I'd play more like Steve Nash.
Steve
Yeah.
Nash. Okay. John Stockton. Are you playing a lot of D? Or are you like a?
I've gotten better on defense over the years. I like to think. Yeah.
I mean, I can make a call.
Defense is a lot of effort. Yeah, we got.
It's awesome.
I mean, you want to connect? I can hook you up. You want to play games in Hinkle? I know the coach, buddy.
Yeah, you do.
I'll make a call for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
help my
I
kid
might
out.
take you up on that.
Yeah. I mean, Diebler's not doing. I'll have Deebs do it. He'll be the go-between. He'll get you your gym time, buddy.
It should happen.
Yeah, for sure. It should. What are you going to be when you grow up? Have we inspired you?
You have. I want to be something very close to what you guys are right now. I want to be on air.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's beautiful, buddy. That is beautiful.
Maybe I can be the next Nathan Zagura.
We all aspire to greatness.
Please.
Better get your arm warmed up. Got to play quarterback. Got some icing.
Someone
You
else
gotta
who
like
would-
Jeff George. You got any crappy old quarterbacks that you like?
Steve Young.
I mean,
Steve Young. Have you met Steve Young? You have, right? And wasn't he great?
Yeah. I like Steve Young.
I know.
It's
I
a
know.
good shtick.
a
But
good
it's
bit.
also,
The
I
crud.
was pissed.
Yes.
As a teenager, I was furious.
Yeah, it's hard to wrap your head
It would
around
be like, the only way that I could put it into an equivalent, like, if LeBron, it's not the same because basketball's not the same,
No,
but
it's
like,
Bernie. It's if Bernie had won Super Bowls and was traded or benched, or what happened to him? Like
yes, but if he had won
multiple
four Super Bowls,
Yeah, if he'd won
and was
multiple
considered to be
Super
the
Bowls,
greatest quarterback
and
in
then
the
all
history of the
sudden-
game.
Yeah, the closest thing we ever got to it was when the Patriots tried to eliminate Brady with Garoppolo,
Yes.
and Bill wanted to play Garoppolo.
Yes.
And the Crafts were like, no,
Yeah, that would be
he's still the best player in the sport.
right.
I think we'll keep him.
Yeah.
You've done a great job, buddy.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate
Stay in touch. We'll see what we
And
can
I
do
want to
for you.
hear about your Papa Shot record throughout your senior year. I'm expecting undefeated.
We need to get some.
We're expecting
some details on
undefeated.
that.
Yeah.
So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, there you go. Your Saturday lineup on the University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network. 9 a.m. Browns Game Day with Gerard and Ken. 11 a.m. the Browns Kickoff Show with Andy and Tyvis. And then at 1 o'clock, kickoff from Huntington Bank Field, Andrew, Z, and Gerard. Away we go. Last one, buddy.
Let's go, baby. And then we're going to get it rolling. Then we're getting it rolling. Bring on the Bengals.
On to the Bengals, baby. Be there soon. It's a really fun preseason game, though, and I'm assuming there's still some tickets available. Like, scoop them up. It's going to be a beautiful day.
It's gonna be
Both
great.
rookie quarterbacks are going to play.
Yeah.
You can watch with your own eyes in person, see what you make of them.
Yeah.
I mean, get a look at them. And I think it's going to be as far as I don't care what the Rams are doing. I'm worried about what we're doing and what it looks like, and I'm excited to see all of that.
Yes,
so I think
this
from
is
our
all
perspective,
about
it's fun.
us. Yes, this
Very
is all
fun.
about us.
Young Brock.
Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure working with all of you.
Likewise.
Hey. Come on.
Come on. Scout. Thumbs up for everybody.
30.
All right, game tomorrow. We'll break it all down on Monday. Thanks for listening, buddy. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.